Well, I read through that handbook for the recently deceased. It says, live people ignore the strange and unusual. I myself am strange and unusual.
What's up guys, welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween. In this video, I'm going to be going over Lydia Deetz. Sorta. This is based off of artwork done by Marcus Jones. He has this full series of mugshots that I am so in love with, and this is Lydia's. I am honestly just so in love with this series. I will link it down below because it's just so cool. So with all that said, let's get into it. So to start, I'm first mixing my normal foundation with a white foundation, and this is just going to pale it up a few shades. I'm just covering up any part of my skin that's going to be exposed. So in this case, it is my face, my neck, my chest, and my ears. Then with whatever foundation I have left, I'm adding more white to it and using that as a highlight. I'm putting that on my cheekbones because she has hella cheekbones. On my chin, my jawline, and a tiny bit on my nose. Now for contour, I'm mixing my normal contour color with more white foundation. You guessed it. Mixing this together is going to create more of a gray tone brown, which is what we need because otherwise it would be way too warm. I'm heavily contouring my cheekbones because, like I said before, she has some major cheekbone happening. I'm also applying it to my temples just to hollow them out a bit. Going in with a light gray eyeshadow, I'm using that to set the contours. Then using a basically white pressed powder, I'm using that to set all of the highlighted points. Then any other part of my face that isn't a highlight or contour, I'm just setting that with a normal translucent powder. Going for the eyebrows, I'm just filling them in with a black eyeshadow. Her eyebrows are mostly straight, but they do have a slight rounded arch to them. Then I popped in some brown contacts and then decided that I needed to up the contour game a little bit more, so I'm just going in with more of that gray eyeshadow. Now using that same gray eyeshadow, I'm starting in on the eye makeup. I'm using that shade and just sweeping it into my crease and above it. Then I'm going in with a darker gray, packing it onto the outer half and also bringing it into the crease. Then work on blending it out a ton. Then I went in and packed some black onto that outer half, just to darken it up even more. Now I'm using concealer and cleaning up and carving out the inner half of the eyelid. And once that's carved out, I am setting that with some white eyeshadow. Then using a brush that has some gray eyeshadow still left on it, I'm using that and blending the white and the black together. Then I'm filling in the inner half of my waterline with white and also bringing it down onto the lower lash line. I'm also pulling it up to the inner corner just to blend the super white eyeliner with the slightly less white eyeshadow. Lydia is not one to use concealer, so instead of hiding the eye bags, we are going to emphasize them. So I'm taking 2 shades of red on a fluffy brush and blending that down onto my eye bags so you can really see those babies. I'm doing this exact same thing with the gray contour color from earlier, and I'm also doing it with a light brown color. And then to make this look like it's your actual skin and not makeup over the top, I'm taking some translucent powder and dusting that over the top. Now for the lower lash line, I'm doing the exact same color transition as I did on top. So I'm starting out with the light gray, blending that out the furthest, and then going in with the darker gray, and then lastly black. I'm filling in the rest of my waterline with black. Then I did a fairly good-sized cat eye that you can only kind of see because I'm very much out of frame a lot of the time. Apologies for that. Do all the normal lash things, curl them, add some mascara, and then if you feel like it, add some spiky lashes. Then after putting on the lashes, I decide to darken up the lower lash line just a tiny bit more. Now using an angled brush and some black eyeshadow, I'm beginning to create the tiers of black she has. So on this side, it's just one teeny tiny little track, and then on the other side, there's a tiny tier and then a much bigger trail of black. So we're doing that. Taking some black body paint and a teeny tiny little brush, I am painting on the cross she has between her brows. Then I filled in my lips using this really dark burgundy liquid lipstick. Flipping back to that tiny brush with black body paint, I am taking washes of it and running it through those black tear tracks just to give it a little bit more dimension and make it look like actual eyeliner that's dripping down. Once that lipstick was dry, I thought it was still a little bit too pink, so I went in with a color that was basically the same shade but a little bit more brown to help balance it out. And now for the 13 next to her eye. When I had first painted it, it was way too small, so I had to take that off and do it again, and that's what we're doing here. So I'm using black body paint and that teeny tiny little brush to paint these on. If you're not that skilled at writing numbers backwards, you can always type them into your phone and flip it so it faces the mirror and copy the shapes you see. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see any more makeups based off of his work, let me know down below. And lastly, if you want to see more of these shenanigans, then hit the subscribe button because this is going to be happening all month. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!